So what are the three things that a homeowner should think about before they actually hire an architect?
And the first thing that he gave me to design were the girls and the guys' ka toilet. Now I prepared 25 options for toilets.
Oh wow.
And believe you me,
Yeah.
that gentleman did not like any one of them.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Yeah, with natural lighting and ventilation, there's a concept which is the Indian concept of vastu. How
Yes.
do you incorporate that with the modern architecture?
Before COVID, the thing was like, a house or a residence was just like an aspiration for the rich guys, and for the middle class people, it was, just ki bhai, you come back, the home should be good, comfortable, and that's it.
Yeah.
But nowadays they want a lot more out of a residence.
Yeah.
They not only is it an aspiration, it is their ecosystem.
So one thing which is really coming up is VR walkthroughs.
Yes.
And I've seen that a lot of architects are implementing that internationally. Has that been started getting incorporated within India as well?
So we first try and understand what the family is like. So we have a couple of meetings, like, preferably first at our office, and then maybe when we are onboarded at their homes as well. And while we are talking to them, they are not, we don't start with like design based questions. Aapko color kaun sa pasand hai, ya what is it that you want in your room? No, we don't do that at all. We have simple questions. What's your lifestyle? What is it that you do? What grade your kids are in? What are your parents' ka interests? What are your interests? So we start off with those kind of questions.
Right. The revisions that you were talking about and the expectations. What's the percentage of revisions that it's actually brought down, like a rough estimate? And welcome to Design and Dialogues. Today we're joined by an architect who's been in the industry for about 25 years. The name of his company is Architectural Direction, and today we'll be talking about the landscape of residential architecture in India and a little bit about technology and how he's incorporating some interesting ones into his everyday life. Let's welcome architect Ajay Gulati to the chat. Let's dive into it, one dialogue at a time.
Hi Atharva, thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. I really want to start with asking you the question, why residential architecture?
Oh, well, so Atharva, the thing is that we have been into this industry for the last 2.5 decades now.
Okay.
And our firm, though we handle a lot of large-ended projects, right, from hospitality to homes, industries to corporate interiors. But all of those large projects, they are like, standardized, so to say. There are fixed parameters, there are like standards that we have to follow. Residential architecture is an adventurous kind of, sort of a vertical, because every residence is very different.
Very unique.
And very unique, yes. Because all families are different. Each family has its own lifestyle, they have their own, day-to-day activities. So every residence that we do comes with a different design brief, and it's very challenging. It makes us, keeps us on our toes and updated.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a lot more creative rather than doing those standardized projects.
Yeah. So let's take it 25 years ago. What made you choose architecture as a profession?
We'll have to go long back. In fact, more than 2.5 decades, more than 25 years ago, I would say. Let's kick back to say close to maybe 35 years ago. I was in grade 8.
Right.
I was in a boarding school.
Okay.
And I have always been a voracious reader. I used to love books. Of course, sports was like, I just used to swim, but books were my, sort of an escape.
Yeah.
So in this boarding school, there we had a wonderful library, and I used to, go to that library very often. And slowly, the librarian sort of, kind of saw my interest in reading. She had a son who was doing architecture, and she used to check out books for her son.
Right.
One of these books was called The History of Architecture, Bannister Fletcher. Sir Bannister Fletcher wrote that.
Yeah.
It was like more than 1,000 pages ka book.
Oh, wow.
Out of curiosity, I kind of started flipping through it.
Yeah.
And that was it. I kind of got hooked.
Okay.
Because, I have always loved reading. I have loved stories, and history of architecture was was a book that came across to me, like it was telling me a story about architecture.
Yeah.
And I was just hooked.
Okay.
And then there was this other book called D.K. Ching.
Okay.
That was about the techniques of architecture.
Yeah.
I loved that book.
Right.
So storytelling, combine it with techniques.
Yeah.
And that was it for me.
Okay. Tell me about your first residential project.
Okay. So back when I started, the thing was that people were not very inclined to hire architects. So there was this challenge that I particularly had to first, convince the client why they need an architect to design their space.
Yeah.
And then I had to convince them why I was that architect.
Okay.
So coming back to your question, the first project that I got was a small apartment.
All right.
And there was this, a local politician from Bihar who was shifting base to Delhi to further his career.
Right.
So he had this small apartment and I was supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And just when I was beginning to do that, I got another project which was right from ground up. So these were the two projects which I was handling in tandem when I started out.
Okay.
And they taught me quite a bit.
Yeah. So was there a particular experience, mentor, or something that you did that, shaped your design philosophy initially?
Right. So, just when I got out of college, I joined this firm called P.K. Chaudhary and Associates.
Okay.
So Mr. P.K. Chaudhary, a stalwart of his times, an amazing architect.
Right.
And when I joined him, I joined him like a junior architect, or I would rather say an apprentice or a trainee.
Right.
Now he was a strict disciplinarian.
Okay.
And he was so hell bent on keeping us disciplined. And back in those days, we didn't have these digital tools like AutoCAD and 3ds Max to
everything
do it. So
was done by hand.
By hand, we had to draft it all out. We had those large tables, and we used to sit on those tables. And he was such a strict guy. He used to keep an eye on us, like, whether we are doing our work or not.
Yeah.
Now, I have always been very organized.
Okay.
And also, I love being on time.
Okay.
So, I am a stickler for time.
Right.
And probably that's what impressed him. So, he kind of took me under his wing.
Yeah.
And very soon, very early in my career, I was, fortunate enough to join a team in his office, which was handling a large project for DPS Rohini School.
Okay, fantastic.
I became a small part of it.
Yeah.
And the first thing that he gave me to design were the girls and the guys' ka toilet. Now, I prepared 25 options for toilets.
Oh, wow.
And believe you me, that gentleman did not like any one of them.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from that gentleman.
Okay.
He has always been my mentor. Whenever I kind of get lost, even till date, I go back, I think, what would he do? Something like that. I know it's like, but somehow, I don't know, he just comes across.
You.
He definitely inspired me a lot.
So, talking about the current residential landscape, where do you think it is at?
So, Athar, we are at a very interesting stage in residential architecture per se. Because you see, particularly after COVID, things have changed a lot. And in these last 5 years, I have seen people change. I've seen lifestyles change. I have seen viewpoints change. And that is now being reflected in residential architecture.
Okay.
Now, before COVID, the thing was like, a house or a residence was just like an aspiration for the rich guys, and for the middle class people, it was, just ki bhai, you come back, the home should be good, comfortable, and that's it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, they want a lot more out of a residence.
Yeah.
They not only is it an aspiration, it is their ecosystem. They want a house which sort of envelops their life. Be it whether they are working from home, whether they are partying at home, whether they want to exercise at home. They want their home to be multifunctional across all of this. So that is what has changed.
And with this also the Indian mindset of the bigger the better.
Oh yes, that has actually come in now.
Yeah.
Yes, I do agree.
Yeah.
A lot of people now want larger spaces.
Yeah.
And particularly in Delhi NCR, they are looking for larger rooms. Again,
Yeah.
that's like sort of a spillover from COVID. When people, thought there is so much
many
time,
people in one place as well.
In one place,
Yeah.
so each person of of the family needs his or her own space.
Yeah.
And they need that space for multiple activities. So yes, bigger the better. That's one of the things that has creeped in. Yes.
So, with this as well, has functionality been the core aspect of it, or is it only aesthetics that people are, more focusing on, especially in the new homes that are coming up?
Okay, so now you see the aesthetics have always been and will always remain a huge part of residential designing.
Yeah.
The difference is now people want comfort. Now people want a more functional space. So the aesthetics are primarily now restricted to the few sort of say, public areas of the residence, like,
Yeah.
the living room, the
Yeah.
dining room, the lobbies.
Okay.
Maybe like those, multifunctional spaces where they can welcome guests. That needs to be blingy for some. Not all.
Yeah.
But mostly yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people now desire comfort from their
Yeah.
home. They want to be able to rest their head on their bed and immediately fall off to sleep.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of comfort that they look forward to. And functionality, of course, no
Yeah.
doubt. The more functional, the better.
Where do you think Pinterest sort of lies in this spectrum? Because if you speak about aesthetics, Pinterest does come into picture in some way.
Yes. Pinterest is, I believe, been a bane and a pain for us architects.
Yeah.
Now the problem with Pinterest is that it shows so many beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
And those pictures sort of generate so many emotions in our clients or any particular client for that matter. You see, it's not one shoe fits all. The pictures on Pinterest have been designed keeping a particular design brief in mind, taking a particular space into consideration. Now each home, each space is different. You can't fit all of it exactly into your home. It is a huge challenge for us when clients do come up to us with say ki this is what we want, aisa bana dijiye, you know how it is, ki aisa dikhna chahiye.
Yeah.
So it is a huge challenge for us to try and explain to them. We take them through the entire journey. 100%. So we have to be very patient. So what we first do is that we kind of create what they want into their space and then explain to them, see, this is why it's not going to look good in your space.
Yeah.
So we create those 3D images for them.
Right.
So you have to actually handhold, people who come to you with Pinterest ka and house.com, say they take out pictures. Okay. So that's it, yeah.
So with these sort of Pinterest pictures that you find, there are a lot of international styles available as well of the decor, of the look. How much are you able to incorporate those global trends into your designs in Delhi NCR or wherever else in India?
Okay, so yes, now people are traveling a lot. It's been like a revenge travel kind of a thing. And since they travel a lot, they're exposed to so much more. Yes, they do want those global trends to creep into their homes.
Yeah.
So what I usually do is, very subtly, I try to fuse our vernacular architecture or vernacular designs with what they want.
Okay.
Now, minimalism is the new thing.
Yes,
I love minimalistic designs.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
So if we can very subtly or very intelligently or very strategically,
less is more, right?
Less is more. Yes, yes. But maximalism tells a story.
Yeah.
But then so there's always been this kind of divide or how shall I say, kind of two parties debating each other ki kaun sa better hai and all that. And but yes, I love minimalism. So what we do is that we try to creep in our Indian traditional vernacular architecture, try to Indianize it. So I believe fusion is the way forward.
Okay.
And if we are able to very properly fuse our the two kinds of designs, I think we get good results.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit about personalization, a little bit about the smart living, and also smart living ke saath comes sustainability as well.
True.
So firstly, coming to the personalization side of things, homeowners these days want to be very much involved in every step of the way, and again, it's also because they are the end users who are going to be dwelling inside that property, right? So how do you take into consideration so many stakeholders that will be living in a space, and also making sure that each of the demands is fulfilled?
So, now it is so much more better for us when the clients are involved during the design process. So how we start is basically we kind of sit them down, the entire family, and instead of just starting with what is it that you want, we first try and understand the family, the composition of the family. So each family is different. Each composition of the family, each relationship is different within the family.
100%.
So we first try and understand what the family is like. So we have a couple of meetings, like preferably first at our office, and then maybe when we are onboarded at their homes as well. And while we are talking to them, they are not. We don't start with like design based questions. Aapko color kaun sa pasand hai, ya what is it that you want in your room? No, we don't do that at all. We have simple questions. What's your lifestyle? What is it that you do? What grade your kids are in? What are your parents' ka interests? What are your interests? So we start off with those kind of questions.
Right.
So the more we understand the composition of the family, the lifestyle of the family, the way the family lives, the easier it is for us to design for them.
So basically putting yourselves in their shoes.
Exactly. So as I just told you, each family is so much very different. I remember we were doing this residence for a joint family. So there were like 3 generations. Now just imagine dealing with 3 generations and talking about the same home. Lagta hi nahi tha ki that each of them is talking about the same home. They had so varied kind of requirements. Design you sit them for, because once you've understood the family, you have to come down to the design brief. What is it that you want out of your home? So when you sit down for the design brief, the grandparents are saying that we want this kind of a house. The parents are saying a second kind, and the kids are like Gen Z, so they are on a different tangent altogether. But it was very challenging, I must say, and it was hugely satisfying when we finished with the project, because luckily all of them were satisfied and they were very happy, and they still are. So that is how it is. You have to be a people's person more than a designer. Sometimes I feel that it's more about being a human resource kind of a person, but then that's the fun of being an architect. 100%. You get to be you get to play all kinds of roles.
Are you incorporating sustainability as well? Or is this just a buzzword which is
Oh no. Very recently I wrote a small piece on sustainability on my LinkedIn profile. And wherein my point of view is, why is sustainability only for the larger projects, like the hotels or the large commercial buildings or the large societies or whatever. Why can't we have sustainable homes, for the small family homes or a small independent houses? Why can't they be sustainable enough? Primarily, what I have found over the years is sustainability demands a cost. So when we get clients who is designing a home, say for about 500 square meters to 1,500 square meters, that project in totality in terms of quantum is so much lesser. So applying all the rules or all the parameters of a sustainable home becomes
rather hard,
a rather costly affair. And not many people are very keen on putting all of it. Now, so what we do is that we try and incite them into smaller things like, maybe solar panels or water harvesting, those things. Now what we have started doing is that the way we construct their houses or their residences, the process, we have tried to make the process a lot more, a lot more sustainable with a lot lesser carbon footprint.
Right.
So when disposing of the demolition waste or the construction waste.
Yeah.
So we take care if we can reuse a lot of stuff within the building itself.
Yeah.
That's one way. And of course, Internet of Things, the IoT, that's a huge add-on. I mean, it's really helping us convince people because IoT, gives them that technology feeling.
Yeah.
So people are a lot more open to that.
Yeah.
So that's how we slowly creep in sustainability into the smaller projects.
So speaking of tech over there, automation has been something which has been, pick for many architects. Is that helping as well, or is there a massive demand for it? Not just in terms of like soft furnishings, but also lighting and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. As I just told you, IoT, Internet of Things, is changing the landscape on another level altogether. On an amazing level. So when you bring technology into your living spaces, it can do wonders for you.
Yeah.
But it can also be a hindrance in terms of a person shouldn't feel like he's surrounded by machines.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a harsh word, but so what we do is that we try and hide these small sensors within the ceilings, which can sense and then help you automate your ecosystem, your environment, maybe control the lighting, control the air conditioning, control your heating, and you can actually control a lot of things around the house.
So one thing which is really coming up is VR walkthroughs.
Yes.
And I've seen that a lot of architects are implementing that internationally. Has that been started getting incorporated within India as well?
Yes, of course. We are doing it. And we have been doing it for the last 6 to 8 months now.
Oh, interesting.
Or probably almost a year now.
Right.
So you see, this has actually opened up, wonderful gateways for us.
Yeah.
It is so much more easier to deal with the clients now. So we kind of prepare a complete 3D walkthrough for them.
Okay.
And we give them those VR sets.
Yeah.
They are able to experience that their entire home.
Yeah.
Even before we have started building it.
Yeah.
And the only thing I believe is missing the touch and the smells.
Yeah.
That's the only thing missing. Probably that'll come in soon. The way that AI is taking over.
Yeah.
And it really helps our clients, take a call. So we have reduced the number of revisions we usually have.
100%. Yeah.
So that is one good thing for us.
Yeah.
And then I believe, it's a wonderful tool to have.
Are clients sort of expecting those sort of technology these days, or is it always a value add that architectural direction can give, which is different to what your competitors would be doing?
Yeah, of course. At the moment, it is for us like a kind of a USP that we are using to convince to onboard newer clients. Because when we try and explain to them the process of how all of this is going to happen, it kind of excites them, that curiosity factor. So yes, it is kind of a fish bait for us at the moment.
Yeah.
But I am very sure just another couple of years and it will become a necessity in our industry. Because everyone would want it.
There's this Australian company who rents like massive warehouses.
Yes.
And what they do is they sort of project the floor plan
True.
of the house,
Right.
and then you can walk through it. It's not with I don't know if it's with VR headsets or not.
No, that's without the VR
headsets. It's just to sort of move around and feel how spacious the place is.
Exactly. So the clients can actually have a feel of the space, or maybe the size of the room can be felt over there. And they have these dry walls on rollers, which their team moves around.
All right.
As when they kind of project the plan on the floor of the warehouse, they have these walls, kind of artificial dry walls on wheels. So they place them as per the plan. So when you enter a room, you actually get the feel of how large or small the room is going to be. But that's a very expensive affair. Compare that to something like experiencing it through VR. It costs just a fraction of the cost.
Are there any challenges with VR?
Yes. So the challenges are that at the moment, the materials that we put in,
Yeah.
they are all digitally composed or digitally sort of
Renders,
rendered.
Yeah.
uh, it's not always possible to get the exact same material. So that is a bit of a challenge as of date.
Okay.
We are trying to solve that challenge wherein we scan the actual real physical materials. We scan them using high-tech cameras that we have, and we try to put them in our 3D walkthroughs.
Okay.
That does work to an extent, but that is just about, we can give them about a 40-50% of the result.
Yeah.
As of today.
Yeah.
But very soon I'm sure that's going to change.
So with VR, I love how people can live in the space before they start living in it.
True.
Can you tell me the revisions that you were talking about and the expectations? What's the percentage of revisions that it's actually brought down, like a rough estimate, and how does it actually help in exceeding expectations?
All right. So the thing is that so there's something called virtual reality.
Yeah.
Okay. So as I told you that we prepare 3D walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Then we kind of transfer them onto VR headsets.
Yeah.
And the person can wear that VR headset and walk through or feel the space.
Yeah.
Now that brought down our number of revisions by at least 25 to 30%.
Wonderful.
Now the thing is that those revisions were because the clients previously were not able to fathom the space that they have.
Yeah.
They were not able to fathom that after placing the entire furniture, how would I move around in that space. So that brought it down by about 20-25%. What we did, we just went a step ahead. We kind of combined something called BIM. So that's building information modeling.
Yeah.
With your 3D renders, with your 3D walkthroughs. So once when the client is satisfied by what he has experienced in the walkthrough, we then transfer that model into a BIM model.
Okay.
Now BIM helps us generate technical 3D drawings,
right,
which contains the services like HVAC, the plumbing, the electricals, the flooring, the doors, the windows, everything.
Okay.
Now what happens is when you are drafting or when you are designing, suppose the AC guy comes and says कि मेरा duct यहाँ से नहीं जाएगा, यहाँ से जाएगा. So as designers what we do is okay, fine, we'll change it. But there are so many layers of drawings, like there's the plumbing, there's electricals, then there is the false ceiling. So what impact will that small revision of changing the AC duct have on the other things like maybe false ceilings? That needs to be changed. Using BIM, if we make a revision or a change in say one component, say the AC duct, we automatically get to see what the challenges are in the other parameters like false ceilings and the electricals. कहीं पे बिजली की तार तो नहीं जा रही है, कहीं पे false ceiling का design तो नहीं अटक रहा है. Those kind of things can be easily. So that brings down the revisions by another 20%.
Lovely.
So technology, you just combine these two things and we get wonderful results.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So talking about, the world of architecture is so evolving, fast evolving, I would say. There are new materials that are coming up now and again. Is there a material that you are sort of gravitating more towards or you're recommending in majority of your residential projects these days?
So, okay, now, we can broadly divide this into two parts.
Okay.
One is, natural materials.
Okay.
And the second is the engineered materials.
ठीक है.
So engineered materials are actually making a huge leeway thanks to sustainability in our industry. But I have always been a fan of natural materials. Personally, if you ask me, I would love to have the humble Indian marble for flooring.
Okay.
I would love to have that distressed wood look.
Okay.
Because that just, in terms of residential designing, that just speaks to me. It tells me you're home. this is where you live. This is where you are comfortable. This is secure. This is your space.
Yeah.
So that is why natural materials, I sort of gravitate towards those a lot more. But having said that, a lot of engineered materials are now kind of cloning these natural materials.
Okay.
Like we have engineered stones.
ठीक है.
About maybe 5 to 10 years back, the engineered stones had that plasticky feel. Okay. You look at an engineered stone and you say कि यार ये it is not natural, it is artificial.
Yeah.
But now the technology is so good that it is sometimes it becomes a little difficult to kind of figure out whether it's natural from afar. Of course, when you go closer and you feel and you tap on it or something, then of course you can understand or you can know whether it's artificial or natural. But some good things are happening as far as engineered materials go.
Okay.
But yes, natural is always in. Always in.
So you spoke about, 3 generations of families living under one roof. So how do you segment those spaces, especially personal spaces? How would you go about that? What's your mindset when you're doing that?
Okay, so interestingly, Atharva, there has been a shift in the Indian family mindset over the years. So when I began about 25 odd years ago, the joint families were the typical conservative traditional joint families. But nowadays, even the joint families are a lot more progressive.
Yeah.
They are so much more open to newer ideas. I mean, the older generations are open to newer ideas. The younger generation understands that, yes, the older people need their space.
Yeah.
And believe you me, the older generation now is having a lot more fun than the younger generation. They are totally stressed out.
Okay.
So it was a challenge because not because of the generation gap per se, but because of their point of view, depending on where they are, in at which stage of life they are. Like the grandparents are like, chilled out because the responsibilities are complete and they are like, okay, we are happy now, it's our time to have fun. The parents are like, okay, we have to be responsible because we are the glue that holds together the upar wala generation and the niche wala generation. So they are at a different stage in life. The younger generation are like, I don't care, it's okay. I mean, so designing for this was not easy, but it wasn't that tough either. So the spaces were, we had common spaces where kind of each generation's space kind of merged into that common family lobby, so to say. Yeah. So we had multiple lobbies.
Yeah.
And multiple lobbies on various floors.
Okay.
So that when they want to come together,
yeah,
for a kind of a community meet or something, they can get together in a space. And when they want privacy, they have their own rooms to slowly fade into. So that's how we did it for them.
Nice. How is natural light? How do you play with that? I know in big houses it's possible, but with apartments it's somewhat restrictive. How much importance do you give to natural light and how do you play around with that?
Okay, I have an interesting anecdote for that as well. So recently we were given this residence to design and it was kind of landlocked on 3 sides.
Okay.
Right? So there are places in Delhi which do not have service lanes.
Yeah.
So this plot of land was bang in the middle and totally blocked from all 3 sides with just the front fascia opening up onto the road. So natural light, that was the first design brief after we had spoken to the family ki bhai hawa pani acha hona chahiye. The older generation ka feeling, hawa pani hona chahiye acha. I said yes sir. And then we got down to our drawing boards. So what we did was that we had these 2 separate triple height areas apart from the the front fascia which obviously opened up onto the road. So these were like large areas.
Okay.
And they brought in a lot of light into the house.
Yeah.
And today, so we are just showcasing our that project of ours on our Insta page.
Yeah.
So let me also promote my Insta page. So they do not require to turn on artificial light till at least 6-7 in the evening
Nice.
in this weather.
Nice.
So they are very happy with the
Yeah.
results. So we use those large courtyard,
Yeah.
typical traditional courtyard designing.
Yeah.
That's how we fuse. As I was, telling you about fuse the Indian architecture with
Yeah.
the global architecture.
Yeah.
So bring in the courtyards.
Oh, fantastic.
That's what we
with natural lighting and ventilation, there's a concept which is the Indian concept of Vastu. How
Yes.
do you incorporate that with the modern architecture?
Okay, Vastu is a very interesting science.
Okay.
And I am purposely using the word science.
Yeah.
Very consciously using the word science. Now, it is a very interesting science because it just speaks of balance of light, air, the 5 elements, so to say.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
So all Vastu does, if you understand it deeply, don't take it on a superficial level, but
Yeah.
if you just get into it and try and understand, because I have been, fortunate enough to work with fantastic Vastu consultants.
Okay.
They have been great, and I've learned a lot from them. So it just speaks of the balance, having a balance of the 5 elements within the space where you are living. So that is what Vastu is all about.
Yeah,
and that actually, on certain level, helps us design our residences.
Nice.
Because then you know that this is what the layout is tentatively going to be like. That you kind of, start conceptualizing the spaces a lot easier. The challenge comes in when the Vastu starts interfering with the design process, as in the when it starts getting into the kind of materials, or when it starts dictating कि ये material use करना है, ये नहीं करना है. That's when it gets a little irritating for us sometimes.
I can imagine.
But then we manage.
So what are the 3 things that a homeowner should think about before they actually hire an architect?
Okay, so those 3, before I tell you about those 3 things which I think that a homeowner should think about before hiring an architect, I would say a homeowner needs to have clarity of thought. What is it that if you are, say, a homeowner who wants to, say, hire an architect, I would want you to first have clarity in your mind.
Okay.
What is it that you want out of your home? Jot down the points, even if they are like rough points, so that you know what is it that you desire.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Now, when you are out into the market, wanting to onboard an architect for your home, be very candid. Look at the architect's perspective.
Okay.
Look at his point of view. Look at where he's coming from. Look at his projects. Look at how he functions. Look at his design process. Right?
So the research basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So looking at an architect's design process is, I would say, of prime importance for any person who's wanting to hire an architect. Because every architect has his or her own particular design process. And you might not, resonate with my process.
Yeah.
So my process could be like, just get it done.
Yeah.
That's not the right process to
Yeah.
follow. Wherein, you should look for an architect who has the time to go through and understand what your requirements are.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that you should look for in an architect. Second thing, he should be patient. He or she should be patient.
Yeah.
Very, very patient.
Yeah.
So any architect who listens to what you want is a good architect.
Okay.
Right? And thirdly, should be good at his job.
Yeah.
That of course you can look at his past projects.
If I'm a young architect, what would you give me as a piece of advice, or say that, this is a niche that you could look into moving forward?
The first thing I would tell them, get out of your design studio.
Okay.
Get out of the design studio, go to the sites.
Yeah.
Look at how those designs, those lines that you drafted are being executed on site.
Okay.
What are the challenges that the contractor, the vendor, the skilled labor or the skilled person on site facing?
Yeah.
When he is trying to execute what you have sort of designed.
Yeah.
So you have created a dream, and there is a person who's executing that dream.
Yeah.
So
there shouldn't be any gap between
exactly,
that.
The head may devise, and the heart may design, but it's of no use if the hand is not prompt enough to execute that design, right? So you go look at what's happening on the site. So that is one advice I would definitely give to the young architects.
Is there a mindset or a skill that is not taught in architecture schools but is very important for a person who is starting out?
People skill.
Okay.
Managing people.
Yeah.
When I look back at my college days, I am so thankful to a couple of our professors who made sure that point one, that they sort of kicked us out of the studio.
Okay.
Go out, explore, come back and talk to us about your experience. Don't talk to us about the designs that you saw, talk to us about your experience. I don't know why, but the colleges, the architecture colleges, I don't know whether they are doing it or they are not doing it. I cannot comment upon that. But if they are not doing it, I would want them to teach people skill to all the students. They should know how to manage contractors. It's not easy, because you see the contractors, they have a different mindset, a different point of view. Your clients would have a different point of view. So you have to be a people's manager, you have to be that person who's managing this side and that side and getting things done. So
fantastic. Well, it's been a lovely chat, but before I let you go, I'm going to do a quick rapid fire.
Sure.
Is that okay? So I've got about 4 or 5 questions over here. What is the most underrated material in residential design?
Concrete.
Okay.
Concrete has so many uses. It is so versatile.
Right.
I mean, you can do wonders with concrete.
Okay. Favorite architectural style?
Favorite architectural style? Okay, so there is this Molina's house in Spain, I believe. Again, minimalistic.
Yeah.
But done in a very different way. I mean, it's almost, the way the lines and the curves, it's like the architect is trying to tell a story.
Okay. Yeah. If you were not an architect, what career would you have chosen?
Okay, I've always wanted to be an architect. Probably I would have been teaching someplace. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I haven't actually thought about it. But yes, if not an architect, I would have been teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out today. It's been a very general sort of discussion as to what the landscape of residential architecture looks like. I would love to pick your brain a little later as well.
Sure.
In the coming months, and just sort of delve into some of the topics that we've discussed. One of the things that's really stood out for me is the VR bit. So I'd love to come down to your studio and experience
Would love to have you. Yeah.
Because I feel AI in architecture is really breaking grounds, and if we can incorporate virtual reality into such a cool concept, it would really do wonders, not just for the architects but also for the people who are going to be living in that space. So once again, thank you very much, architect Ajay Gulati, for taking the time out and coming down for a chat.
Thank you for having me, Atharva. It has been a wonderful experience.
Cheers.
Right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you.